So yeah, it was a 6 a.m. flight from Lagos to Morocco. It was a Royal Air Maroc flight, and I'm not sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Royal Air Maroc is the official airline for Morocco, the country itself. And taking off from Lagos to Casablanca, to be precise. Casablanca, that's where we were supposed to land in Morocco. What that means is most of the people, let's say a lot of the people on that flight, are Nigerians. So we took off at 6 a.m., check-in in Nigeria, and all of that was smooth. We took off when we were supposed to take off. We got to Morocco, which is where a lot of things started to get interesting, at least for me and for everyone else. The Nigerians on the flight with the Nigerian passport, obviously, because there are other Nigerians that had a different passport. But for Nigerians that had the Nigerian passport. So when we got to Morocco, first off, I've always lived in Nigeria. I've lived in Nigeria all my life. I didn't travel. I think I had been to just maybe one African country or something. And living in Nigeria, where we believe, or it's not a belief, it's a common saying, Nigeria is the giant of Africa. Nigeria being one of the richest countries in Africa. What it has done is it's created this belief in a lot of us head, or a lot of Nigerians that's not been outside of Nigeria, to other African countries, to be precise, African countries. So it's like, yes, Nigeria is the giant of Africa. So if other countries are going to be more developed, more beautiful, it's going to be slightly, maybe outside South Africa, but then it's like, if any country, it's one or two things. It's either Nigeria is more beautiful and more developed than most African countries, or those that are going to be more developed and more beautiful will be slightly more developed. Like there's still that aesthetics, like when you go to Ghana, the airport, yes, it's near, but it's still giving Africa-ish. So yeah, that was the belief. Sorry. So yeah, that was the belief when I was going to Morocco. Prior to that time, it's not now where there's a lot of pictures, a lot of posts, a lot of vlogs about Morocco. At the time, it wasn't a lot, or at least for me, it wasn't something I looked into. So we landed in Casablanca, and the first thing I noticed was it was cold. It was proper cold. Then I picked up my phone and checked the weather. It was 12 degrees. That's the coldest I'd ever experienced in my whole life. In my mind, I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Why is it so cold in this country? I didn't realize any African country whatsoever gets this cold. It was November. It was towards the ending of November. So I'm like, wow. Then we landed, then the shuttle bus picked us up, then drove us to the main airport area. So all of this was interesting for me. I was blown away. So I was not able to, at the time, I was not able to notice a lot of things that was going on around me. I was just in that wow moment, like wow. Then we got inside the airport and it was like, bruv, I've obviously never seen anything like that when it comes to Africa. And living in Nigeria, we don't get a lot of Moroccan or North African media. Like we don't see their movies, we don't see their music. So we don't have, at the time, we don't have a picture of what Morocco looks like. So when I landed and it was like, wait, what? This is Africa? So that's the only thing I could feel at that moment. So I didn't realize that as I was seeing things, I was being blown away. There was movement going on. So I was on the line of, okay, we Nigerians, the few people that had a different passports had gone in a different gate. We the Nigerians, by the time I came to realization, by the time I came back in the moment, I remember we were in a line. We the people that Nigerians basically with the Nigerian passport, we were in a line standing in front of a gate. It was an actual gate, one of those gates that slides up to open and slides down to close. This was closed, so we were lined up in front of the gate. So I didn't really, like I said, it was my first time I didn't know how the whole airport thing works and all of those interesting things. I was like, okay, so we're just basically standing there. I didn't know what was going on, but I know, okay, that's the line. I'm not the first person in the line. I'm like in the middle or behind, so I know whatever these people do, follow the signs, follow your people, and whatever happens. So in the moment, I was still looking at the airport, like this is a beautiful airport. The immigration officers looked like they were dressed for an officer fashion show. The uniforms well fitted, clean, neat. The socks on the women had a glow to it. Like, when something is so white and it starts to glow. So that was the only thing I could focus on in that moment, because I don't know, I like it when things look good. I'm obsessed with how things look, and that's not something that's common with Nigeria. Like, Nigeria does not care too much about how things look. So I was seeing this airport, seeing these beautiful people. The women looked extremely, it was a different type of beauty. So I was, in that moment, I didn't realize we'd been in that queue for about 20 minutes and it was nothing. So it was when the people on the queue started to complain. I remember I heard one Yoruba woman say, "Boy, man, shini." What that means is that's how they do, that's how they behave. And someone said, every time, I remember one grown, like middle-aged man said, every time he's come to this airport, it's been one thing or the other, and it's always happened to Nigerians, to be more precise. So it was in that moment I like, okay, what's going on here? So I snapped out of my what was it called now? Out of the whole wild thing, I was gushing about the whole place, like, how is this Africa? So I went from that, then I became aware of what was going on around me, then I came back in the moment, like, okay, what's going on? And I realized, okay, first off, we've been in that queue for a while. And like, we literally saw, while we were in the queue, we literally saw other people coming from other flights that had landed, maybe from a different country, I don't know. Things were going on, like activities were going on in the airport. But we, the Nigerians that were behind that gate, we were just there. Then people started to complain. Then that was when I snapped back into the reality, like, okay, what's going on? Then it started from one person, second person, then a lot of people started to complain, like, this is how they treat Nigerians, this is disrespectful, this is blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, all up, what is going on here? Like, I was just gushing about this new Africa. I'm saying, I've never seen this type of Africa. And we are here now, like, okay, what's the noise about? Like, what's going on? And like I said, it's my first time on an international flight at the time, so I didn't care about a lot of, not like I didn't care, but I didn't know how things are normally. So whatever is being done in that moment, I felt that is how it is done. So I was just standing there enjoying the views and all of that. But then apparently we'd been there for longer than we should have been there. The gates were closed. So when people started shouting, when I came back to reality, what became disturbing for me was a lot of people were shouting on a line, complaining about something, and there were immigration officers walking past. And these people literally were acting like nothing was, it was almost as if we could not be seen with the way the immigration officers were going about their daily activities. People were literally saying, "Excuse me, are you going to attend to us?" Blah, blah, blah. And these people were going. So that was where I now came, okay, I think there's a problem. Something is not right. Yes, the airport is beautiful, the weather is cold, it's giving abroad. But yeah, like, why are we being treated like this? Then I looked on the line, it was only Nigerians, because we were the ones with the same passport. And it's like, okay, I remember this lady, this fashion designer in Nigeria was on the line with us. I can't remember her name now, but she's one of the big fashion designers in Nigeria. So I'm like, okay, what's going on? Like, people are on this line yelling, and immigration officers, police officers are going about there. It was so bad that they didn't turn to look at us. It was that bad. So I'm like, okay. And personally, I can't stand disrespect. Like, so I found that very, very disrespectful. But then the fact that they were going about their activities and we were not being attended to, even when people were raising their voices and all of that, then became more annoying. Then more people started to talk, like, what level of disrespect is this for crying out loud, blah, blah, blah. Then I remember one female officer, if she was a police officer, immigration officer, I can't remember now, came. Remember I said it's a sliding gate that slides up and slides down to close? She came, pushed the button, I don't know what she did. Then the gate started to go up, then reached halfway, then stopped. Then she left. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, obviously, it was adults on the line, so there was no way we could go past without having to bend. That is, if she had opened it with the intentions of, okay, you guys can go now, everyone would literally have to like bend to go through, which was like, are you actually having a laugh right now? Are you joking? Then people went crazy. Like, what is this nonsense? Blah, 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 blah. Then when the rage started again, because if you ask me, she intentionally tried to piss people off, because people had been complaining about something and you came open the gate halfway that people could not go through without having to bend, then you left. Then you're obviously trying to send a message or treat these people in a certain way to, I don't know. So it was like, at that moment, I completely forgot about the beautiful airport. I completely forgot about the beautiful people. I completely forgot about everything positive that I had been seeing, like, oh wow, this is a country. Everything I could feel in that moment was disgust, like, okay, this is disgusting. Why are we being treated like this? Then I remember some officers came. We were speaking English. Then they were speaking their language to us. I didn't understand what they were saying, obviously. But then it was looking like, what's it called now? Commanding or authoritative. Like, I don't know what they were saying, but they were saying something. They did it, then we were, well, the people, because I didn't speak. I was just there looking like, okay, what's going on? I just want to get to where I'm going, because I was supposed to go through Casablanca, then head somewhere else. So yeah, that happened. And after a while, they finally came, opened the gate. Then we started moving to other parts of the, what's it called? It was, and even when they started to attend to us, it was hostile. You'd see people exchange words with the officers. Then, like, I was on the line, so I could see their faces. You know, when you not have been able to go to other countries, see immigration officers, like, yes, it gets interesting. Sometimes I've mentioned some things on my YouTube channel. But then you see like, oh, welcome, like it's the face, even when they're not smiling, it's not hostile. But you can see this one's like, you know, when you're beefing someone, like you're ready, like today is today, then that person approaches you, like you can see the readiness for fight. That was what it looked like. And yes, we did what we had to do. There was exchange of words. People were, it was a toxic, the whole thing was, it was weird. And the only thing that could go in my mind was, and now that I've been to other countries and seen the way I've been treated with my Nigerian passport, we see on YouTube, Instagram, social media generally, how people get treated for holding a Nigerian passport. So the only thing I could think is, what exactly is wrong with the Nigerian passport? How did we get to where we are when it comes to passports, traveling and all of that? Like, how are these things even, what's it called? How are they ranked? Like, how is it that some countries can go to places without, like, how are these things done? What's the politics behind it? What's the government behind it? Is it that, okay, is it that some countries are wealthy or some countries are poor? Or I don't know. So it's like, how did we get to this point? Is it the government? Is it the people? Nigerians aren't the worst people on earth. No matter how you people want to paint it, how the media, the world media wants to make it look like Nigerians are awful people. That's a big lie. So if you're gonna give us a name of, oh, Nigerians are fraudsters, Nigerians are this, there are more fraudsters in Russia, there are more in Japan, there are more in China, there are more hackers, and all of those things. So it's like, what exactly is going on? Like, how did we get here? What can now be done to fix this? Like, are we gonna continue like this? Because if it's a ranking that some countries drop, or you used to be number one, now you're number two, now some countries you can no longer go. Like, how do those things happen? How do countries go up in the rank? How do countries drop? Like, what exactly can we do? Because this is ridiculous, if you ask me. But yeah, that was my experience in Casablanca, Morocco, to be precise. So yeah, if this is your first time watching my channel, my name is Motayo, and this channel is basically more of travel, life abroad as an immigrant that moves from Lagos to London, and a whole lot of other things. So yeah, please do well to join the family, subscribe, like, share your experience in the comment section. It's always, because this isn't the first time I'm talking about experiences with immigration, traveling, and all of that, and it's always interesting in the comment sections. And the kind of things I read sometimes is like, Jesus, if this was me, I would have just, I'm not going to be disrespected like this. Give me my bag, I'm going back to my country. But yeah, it's a lot of things happening, it's a lot of things being, I don't know, being Nigerian, outside of Nigeria is, or traveling as a Nigerian is stressful. So yeah, I don't know, you guys should just, let's talk in the comment section. What is happening? How did we get here? How can we move from where we are? Is it the government? Is it the people? What can we do? But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye.